Ну что же, мы с вами приземлились на Горгоне. И сейчас отправляемся по наводке в шпрысиный сарай. Беру с собой Феликса и Элли. Да, спасибо, Ада. Замечательно. Мы слегка выпили с Мини, мы навеселе.
Our intrepid heroes stepped foot on Gorgon, and in the distance, a drinking establishment beckoned.
Что за чертовщина? Что тут происходит? Ой, господи. О, аж уши заложила. Опаньки. У кого-то кончилось явно терпение. А здесь красиво, правда? О, Мини, привет! Даже здесь видны узоры ар-деко. Криска! Ой, держи крысу, держи ее! Прилетели, блин, понаехали тут. Так. Ну что, давайте осмотримся сперва.
Whatever happened here, we're not gonna be next. Be ready.
Уф. Ого. Так, наркоша. Было бы интересно все-таки, знаете, начать такое прохождение, когда делаешь все, ну, не совсем так, как тебя подталкивают, не совсем правильно. Никого не видно. Ничего себе. Ящички. Викария надо было брать, а не Феликса. Оу! Привет, друг.
This unit is currently in wait cycle. Please return later. Have a better than natural day.
Ну, я еще не в том состоянии, чтобы пинать автоматоны. Мощный. Мне здесь нравится. Людей нет. Плохо, конечно. Очень плохо. Это что еще за сцена с такси? Когда, знаете, вот кого-то там задели, и мотороллеры, по-моему, полицейские повалились все разом. А тут что? Башку кому-то отфигачила. Мужик. Мяу-мяу. Не, никак. И сюда никак не зайти. Новый объект, какой-то лифт. Но к этому лифту у нас нет доступа. О, мертвые тела. Слышу еще. Что это? Я же отключила ее. Ой. Я ж тебя отключила, собака такая. Прекрати! Это глюк. Господи, это глюк. Так, все. Тазбольные карточки я бы, конечно, дарила Феликсу.
Hey, you! What do you think you're doing?
Ой. Да экспресс ухожу.
All right, but don't let me catch you. Is that what my thoughts sound like? Look, I've been standing near that alarm too long. You looking for supply strain? Let me know if you're looking for some.
Я сперла что-то. Блин. Чувак, зачем ты разбрасываешь свои вещи?
You mean you came out to this asteroid without knowing nothing about it? Me too. Heard it was wild here and couldn't resist. Trouble is, if you wander off to somewhere you oughtn't be, like way out in Gorgon's farthest reaches, odds are slimmer of your bits finding their way to my pockets. If you want my advice, stick close to the Sprat Shack, unless you fancy having your limbs torn off and eaten. You okay? Does your stomach hurt? Look, I ain't stopping you from wandering elsewhere. But if you do, be sure you watch out for the marauders. That's the #1 thing. And the Mance, I guess. You watch out for marauders, Mance, and Charles from accounting, and you'll probably be fine.
Интересно, кто это еще?
Only the meanest marauder on Gorgon, and also anywhere else. That man is crazier than a bag of canids and twice as likely to bite.
Ой.
He will bust your head open like an overripe mock apple if he so much as sees you. I ain't joking. He'll snap you in half like stale bread noodles.
Сколько красочных сравнений.
Sorry. Been a minute since I last ate.
Бедные люди.
Charles from accounting is like... Imagine if you took 3 of the most howling mad marauders you could find and mashed them together. That's Charles.
То есть, представляете, они постоянно голодают.
It is? Wow. You learn something new every day.
Феликс, блин.
You ain't listening to me, huh? Well, I warned you. If you run off and get exploded to death by a madman with a rocket launcher now, that's on you.
О, хорошо.
Huh? Oh, you don't gotta worry about that. Something to do with that scrap project Gorgon from years back. Thanks for turning it off, by the way. I'd have lost my mind if the damn thing had gone on much longer. We tried. Couldn't persuade the control
Ну,
terminal
я
to listen.
видела, что вы с ними
No
сделали.
one around
Ага.
here is particularly mechanically inclined, and no one was gonna shut it down by force. That's for sure.
Вывести из
I
строя
know, because even
динамики.
von Hoffman couldn't bash it in. And I seen that tough son of a gun throw a man clean across the Sprat Shack one time like he were a toss ball.
Так, что за проект Горгона?
Only that Spacer's Choice shut it down in a big hurry. From what I heard, some of their folks got left behind even. Don't seem like the project ended well.
Так,
Yeah?
а что? Ты давай рассказывай.
The Marauder camp way out to the east. That's what I heard, at least.
Мгм.
And I sure hope you're asking so you can keep a safe distance away.
Ладно, гуляй. Блин, ну нечаянно я сперла. А это, конечно, байда. Но не должна работать. Вечно все через Ж. Ой, это еще что такое? М. Сериал «Страж закона и порядка». Алло, ты что, смотришь, что ли, что-то? Чё с ним? Так. Та-та-та-та-та. Интересно, и чё? Почти. Кто такой почти? Почти. Кто это там? Почти. Мгм. М. Ну как ты? Ну чё ты? Блин, ну какой ты классный.
Energy efficiency is its own reward. You have an unpaid
Какой?
balance.
Какой?
This unit is watching.
Какая
This unit is a friend to all debtors. This unit reminds you that debt is
Какой
a
долг?
physical
Чего?
outdoors.
А это еще что такое? Криски. Деньги валяются. Почему? Вот все надо делать вовремя, ребята. Все надо делать вовремя. А что ты такая беленькая? Лови ее, Феликс. Нафига они тут что? Спайщик. Шпрысиный сарай. И раздолбанные автоматы. Отлично. Фон Хоффман. Кажется, про него говорили, что он там кого-то переламывает пополам.
Come here. Let's have a chat.
Не слишком ли ты себе много позволяешь?
All right, inspection time. Look at my eyes for as long as you can without blinking. Starting now. Good. Look up. Now look down. Thank you. Got him from my mother. You're doing swell. Now, name and occupation. Good enough for me. You're cleared to pass. That was a sanity check. If you had changed like the others, it'd be in your eyes.
Oh,
You'd also be drooling, cursing, and making a mess of the place.
ничего себе.
Welcome to the Sprat Shack. You can head on downstairs.
Погоди-ка, красавчик. Ну-ка, расскажи мне.
Every day, salvagers and scrappers set out to comb the ruins and make their fortune. The ones who come back, they aren't always the same men or women who left. They change. Never for the better.
Как именно?
First, they get real twitchy and paranoid, shouting at folks who aren't there. Then they smell like they soiled themselves, on account of how they soiled themselves. After that, they're gone. Nothing but animals wearing human skin. Seen it happen myself. It's never
О
pretty.
ком ты говоришь?
This is the Sprat Shack, the most remote watering hole in the system. Rule number 1, no fighting. Rule number 2, wipe your feet on the way downstairs. We're the only hospitable place on this rock. I want to keep it that way. That's why we have rule number 3. When people change, they stay outside, where they belong.
Спокойствие. Давайте
Just
расспросим.
don't ask me to dance.
Что знаешь о Горгоне вообще?
Something bad happened here. Spacer's Choice was developing chemicals. The kind with nasty side effects.
Can this colony have one research facility developing something without horrible, face-melting side effects? Is that so much to ask?
Marauders outnumber the rest of us 10 to 1. Either they came from Gorgon, or something draws them here. I don't know which is worse. This place is under a dark cloud, stranger. That's all I know. If you want the history of the Sprat Shack, talk to Lex behind the bar.
Хорошо. Ты его, значит, вышибала?
Bouncer, bodyguard, law enforcer. I make sure the Sprat Shack gets only the highest caliber of clientele.
And I thought this place was gonna be fun.
Highest caliber of what? Is he talking about guns?
We get a lot of brand-loyal corporate types, and a lot of cutthroat freelancer types. Both sides have their share of dirty scoundrels. And I hate dirt. This is a sublight bar,
Oh,
so most of our regulars come to plunder the old labs. The facility's locked up behind miles of red tape, so progress is slow. A lot of time to drink and reevaluate, then venture out and try again.
ясно. Ну ладно,
Watch yourself out there.
красавчик. Пока.
Cheap whiskey and stale cigarettes.
То есть ты все еще надеешься на веселье, да?
Now this looks like a real dive. Hey, I heard towards the creek when a stranger walks in.
А то! Да. Все-таки приветливые. Байтники. Привет, красотка.
Welcome to the Sprat Shack. First one's on the house, and I won't even water it down. What'll it be?
О. Люблю вино.
Bottoms up. I assume you're here for salvage. Most of my regulars are sublight scavengers. They pick over the ruins of Gorgon, spend their earnings at the bar, and head back out the next day. Vicious cycle, but that's life. You're the first new face I've seen in a while.
Так. Что знаете о Горгоне?
Spacer's Choice used to brew pharmaceuticals in these parts. That's why the asteroid smells like an old gym sock. They say Adrena Time came from here, just down the road at the old R&D lab. Very hush-hush back in the day.
Hush, hush.
I doubt anyone knows the full story. One day the evacuation order went out. Grunts and lab coats scrambled to get anywhere but Gorgon. And the weirdest thing of all, Adrena time still hit the market. Me, I never touch the stuff. To each their own, but I think it's dangerous.
Так.
Roscoe might tell you more. He spent some time around here before the bar opened up. I
Так.
trust him well enough.
Мгм.
There's always Leonora, my favorite customer over in the storage room on the second floor. Keeps to herself and always closes out her tab.
Хорошо. Спасибо.
What are friends for, eh? Damn right we are. We've got drugs, scrap metal, prototype weapons, drugs, money, and more drugs. When Spacer's Choice evacuated, everyone dropped their gear and ran. Most of it stayed where it fell, and all of it is up for grabs. Of course, the real treasure is whatever's locked up in the old facility. Until someone figures a way to crack it open, we're just sifting through dirt.
Так.
Lucky. Sure, I knew him. He could get a little dramatic at times, but he was a good guy. Heard he took on a dangerous job. Spent a lot of time coming and going from the Office of Creative Incubation, just down the road.
Склонность к драматизму посреди вот этого всего.
Lucky fancied himself some kind of hotshot fixer. He talked a big game. All bullshit, of course.
Sounds about right.
Awful shame about what happened to him. You know about that? Huh. Word must travel fast around these parts.
Не просто знаю, я
Last I saw
видела.
of Lucky was a few days ago. I went outside for a smoke and a stroll, and I saw this wild canid dragging a bloody limb. So I kicked the canid, scared it off. Get this, the canid was chewing on an honest-to-law human arm. Lucky's arm. I'm a bartender. Attention to detail is my middle name. Anyway, the arm was clutching a phonograph that mentioned someone named Alex Hawthorne. I did some poking around, and this Hawthorne has a reputation among the salvagers who frequent the bar. So I packaged up the arm nice and tidy and sent it care of the Halcyon Parcel Service. They even gave me a discount on the hazardous waste removal stamp.
Уф.
No kidding. And now you're here? Colony feels smaller than you'd think some days. I'm glad I was here to see this confluence of events, you know? The stars really aligned on this one. And here I am, smack dab in the middle.
Теперь ей будет что обсудить. Ну хорошо.
Third floor. Once I figured he wasn't coming back to pay his tab, I left his room unlocked to air it out. You can help yourself to anything you left behind. Fair
Хорошо.
warning, I've been letting the regulars use it for a quick lie down. Just wash your hands when you're done. Trust me. Yes and no. The Sprat Shack used to be a shipping and receiving warehouse during the old Project Gorgon days. When Spacer's Choice pulled their guys off-world, Sublight moved in to salvage what we could, and they put me in charge. Yes and no. We're doing a lot more than squatting. We're classing up the joint, keeping the riffraff outside where it belongs. They didn't even serve drinks until I arrived. Talk about wasted potential.
Сброд. Это больные люди.
Yes and no.
Опять.
Rumor has it there's a Sprat wandering around the Groundbreaker, and he's the legal owner of the Sprat Shack. Hagen's idea. See, Hagen didn't want a paper trail that led back to her, so she gave the bar to the Sprat.
Лилия.
If there were any legal problems with this place, the Sprat would do the time.
You know, they do something similar in Byzantium. Fancier system, but same idea.
Ну ясно.
Hey, sprats can be
Председатель
real
фунт.
dangerous. I once saw a sprat cross a guy off. Well, not exactly. Guy I worked with choked on a sprat bone while he was having his usual salt tuna for lunch.
Anyway, that's what the paperwork says. I don't make the rules.
Окей.
Easy. His name's Matt. The beautiful thing is, no one could tell Matt Sprat apart from an ordinary vermin. I think that's kind of the point, to send the authorities on a wild sprat chase. Never thought about that. Shit, someone could have eaten my boss. As far as business arrangements go, this one's a head scratcher, but they say it's all above board, so that's what matters.
Это отель, это владелица одной из забегаловок на первопроходце. Она действительно делает из шпрыс всякие разные лакомства. Но, как сказал Феликс, после этого неделю будет живот болеть.
Yes. And no. Again, that one was Hagen's idea. She told me that speaking in vague terms keeps you out of trouble. And I don't want any trouble in my place.
Хорошо.
Thirsty people come and go from all over the colony, mostly on the way to somewhere better. Some are well-connected, and not everyone pays with bits. That's how we get the unconventional goods anyhow. Sublight keeps us well-stocked with the essentials, by which I mean booze.
Прекрасно. Так,
Come back when you're thirsty.
отлично. Итак, пойдемте смотреть на заметки лаки. Так, это кухня.
Mine, tangle-footed dimwit.
Bring it up, you two.
That was my salvage, Trixie. You had no right to it then, and you've no right to it now.
I risked my life sneaking around marauders to claim that wreck. And I didn't see your name on it.
Now you've done it. Eat fist!
All right, that's enough! This is a family establishment! You want to make a mess? You make it outside!
But this was personal, Lex. It's a question of salvage. That wreck was gonna make me a fortune.
Now you two listen, this is my place. While you're in the Sprat Shack, you'll sit quietly, or I'll forbid you to come here at all. Is that understood?
Fair's fair. I'll have a stout, and we'll settle this later on our own terms.
It's no good to leave a fight unresolved. If I don't do something, these two are gonna be at each other's throats.
Что предлагаете?
Would you do me a favor and weigh in as a third party? I can use an unbiased set of eyes on the problem, and an outsider like you fits the bill. Freddy, Trixie, go on and make your case to the generous stranger.
I'll start, seeing as I'm the one who's been most wronged in this equation. So, just up the road and due east of here, there's a shipwreck lodged in the mountainside, right? I staked my claim on that wreck. Then I wandered in for a drink. An hour later, Trixie swaggers in bragging about her salvage. Ugh, the nerve of some people. I climbed on top of it and called out in my loudest voice, "Finders keepers!"
I don't know about legal, but it's legit by sublight standards. Assuming anyone was around to hear it, which we can't know for sure.
Someone must have heard me. They just ain't brave enough to step forward and admit it.
When I found the shipwreck, there were no salvage mark. See, the whole area was teeming with bloodthirsty marauders. So I snuck around and added my tag, clear as day, so no drunken idiots could claim the salvage out from under me, Freddy.
For the record, when I heard the marauders coming, I left. Trixie must have set her mark down after me.
I kept my mouth shut during his story. He should have the courtesy to return the favor. Anyway, that's my story, ma'am. I drew next in the dirt, with my toe. Wouldn't surprise me in the least, but that doesn't mean it ain't mine.
In all my years, I've never heard a more contentious argument. I don't envy your shoulders for bearing the weight of responsibility. You've heard it from them both. So, who gets the salvage?
That ain't no kind of fair.
She ain't even from around here, Lex.
Here's a six-pack on the house, plus your fee. Maybe now we'll finally get some peace around here for a change. A little too often, if you ask me. But that's the sublight way. Anything worth doing is worth fighting over. Come and chat if you're ever feeling thirsty.
Oh, boss. I was hoping for a scuffle. I had a bottle ready and everything.
Слушай ты,
We could
балбес.
always go back and rile him up again later.
Угу.
Groundbreaker never had bars this nice. They got balconies and everything.
Ну
wouldn't
вот
get
и
too close
идем
to that railing.
сюда. Кто-то туда,
Just
кто-то
in case.
закладывает за воротник со страшной силой. Только и слышно буль-буль-буль-буль-буль-буль. У-у-у. Так, руки помыть. Ну, извините. Мощный сундук. Это кто? Тихо. Кларенс, почти. Почти.
Hey, marble. Oh, wait. Nope, that's a human eyeball.
As a medical professional, I gotta say, that is very well preserved and disgusting.
Я заговорила как девушка с канала «Любимые адвенчуры и квесты». Очень рекомендую ее канал. Хорошо проходит со всеми подробностями и со всеми побочными квестами. Кстати говоря, ей я, наверное, обязана интересом к этой игре. Так, больше здесь ничего интересного нет. Пурпуричное вино я не зря выбрала. Пурпуричное вино связано с продукцией риса.
Someone's in here. Oh, well. It's coming back up again.
Бу-бу-бу. Тебе плохо, чувак.
I'm all right. That last one really emptied my guts. No, wait. Here comes more.
Фу. Ой. Поэтому вот я не стала мясного Клайва снимать. Потому что там вот постоянно вот это вот будет.
What have you got there?
Adrena time, I think. I found some in an old busted crate.
You're just gonna take some drug you found in the
Фу.
garbage?
It's not some drug.
Наркота.
Huh, who's this now? Wonder if they could...
Роска.
Nah, who am I kidding?
Ладно, с Роской мы поговорим за кадром, наверное, и с Леонорой. И потом я уже решу, что делать дальше.